All right, guys, we got some major stuff going on here as I'm keeping you up to date on everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. Check this out. Yesterday, around 50 anti-Israel agitators shut down the Senate cafeteria at the Capitol. Around 50 were arrested after the incident inside the Durskin Senate office building, arrested after they were warned to leave and did not leave. You can see here, and chanting anti-Israel chants, and one woman wearing a shirt that reads, quote, Biden's legacy equals genocide. The thing here is that the U.S. does not really have the ultimate say of what happens over there with Hamas and Israel. And the thing here is that, remember that Hamas is still attacking Israel here almost on a daily basis. That is part of the problem. And also remember here that Vladimir Putin and Iran, likely the backers here of Hamas, likely just laughing at this, and the perpetrators of this war over there are likely sitting back just laughing at everything that has unfolded. And this is likely just part of Vladimir Putin's ultimate plan to take the eye off the war in Ukraine. And this is probably everything that he wanted to happen so that he can ultimately win over there in Ukraine. Also, breaking news here, a shooting reported at a Ramadan event in Philadelphia. This actually goes directly with what is happening here, with what the FBI director has been saying and what he said here within the last 24 hours, with a stern warning going out to Americans and the rest of the world here. Take a listen to what the FBI director here had to say.
All right, let's talk about the real threat to America that Christopher Wray has been talking about nonstop. All you have to do is go up to him, take his order at McDonald's, and he'll tell you the threat is real. All the alarms are going off about China and the terror threat, and we don't know what they're doing at the southern border. He doesn't seem to know. But as a nation, this is the number one threat, because when you have the Soviet Union, didn't have the economic firepower. Here in China, you have the economic firepower, and you have a sense that they want to take us out in order for them to survive or thrive. Listen to him yesterday.
Today's national security threats are more complex and sophisticated than ever. We're seeing hostile nation states becoming more aggressive in their efforts to steal our secrets and our innovation, target our critical infrastructure, export their repression to our shores. And front and center is China, the defining threat of our generation. To put it simply, the CCP is throwing its whole government at undermining the security and economy of the rule of law world.
Through TikTok, through fentanyl, through their military, through harassing of the Philippines, to alarming Japan. It's time for a wholehearted response. South Korea. We now have Japan's going to commit to put 2% into their defense. The Philippines is threatened on a daily basis. We have an obligation, treaty obligation, to defend them. Hopefully the military-industrial complex will understand there's a lot of customers willing to write checks, because that's how clear the threat to China is today.
He says China's hacking program is larger than that of any other major nation combined. He said even if we took all of our agents at the FBI and we put them on China's hackers would still outnumber the FBI cyber personnel by at least 50-1.
Right. And it wasn't just China. He also was talking about North Korea and Iran and Russia, and and they're all working to try to break into our computers, cyber hacking. He said Russia is targeting underwater cables critical to global communications. He said ever since the Ukrainian invasion, Russia has been conducting reconnaissance on the U.S. energy sector, which is terrifying. And here's the thing. He said yesterday at that lunch for the American Bar Association in D.C., he said that Russia does not care if their cyber campaign affects civilians. But just remember when the hackers shut down the Colonial Pipeline and Joe Biden said, hey, if you ever do anything like that again, we're going to do something to you. Well, I got news for you. According to the director of the FBI, China and Russia doing it every day.
Well, he said that to Iran as well. He told them not to invade into the Ukraine as well. So I guess my question would be, as the FBI director laid out the threat, who's going to ask him, when is the last time you talked to the president? Do you think the president is aware of this? What's the policy now of the administration? Because you're saying one thing, but the president of the United States, as well as all of his allies, the White House press secretary says that the greatest threat is white supremacy. It's Donald Trump. It's about them, Donald Trump saying that he's going to overturn the election. Like, we keep hearing one thing from the people that are supposed to keep us safe, and we're hearing something different from the administration.
We have all these Chinese nationals going across our border, and he said yesterday, too, that China's recruiting human sources to target our businesses, using insiders to steal the same kinds of innovation and data that their hackers are targeting.
So right now they say that President Biden says the greatest threat to democracy is Donald Trump, but the FBI director says it is China, and China is following Russia's lead and trying to use AI and bots in order to influence our elections coming up and our thought and divide America on race, ethnicity, gender. They can play us, and they're playing the hits right now. And keep in mind this, too, is that they are under the belief that they're better off with Joe Biden as president.
So there you have it. We have China, we have Russia, we have Iran, we have North Korea, nuclear powers doing what they want and with no repercussions. Hacking the United States. We have issues like underwater pipelines having issues. We have underwater cables being cut. And, we don't know who did it, but we have strong inklings. And there's no repercussions, right? We have countries being taken over with, we can't attack them because they're nuclear powers. We have, terrorist organizations attacking Israel, Ukraine. We don't want to, do anything about it. Yet we have these, international laws that say, you can't take over land by force. And yet, look at what is happening. And yet you have, countries like China and North Korea waiting in the wings to say, if they're not going to do anything about it, maybe we'll be the next country to go and do it. China is just salivating to see maybe we should just take over Taiwan next. China, with 4+ times our population, if they go and take Taiwan, what's the U.S. going to do about it? Well, I don't think anybody wants to go to war with China if, the world doesn't even want to go to war against Russia. Who wants to go to war against China with over 1 billion people and nuclear weapons? Well, if we don't even want to go to war against Russia and spend the money against Russia, who's going to want to go to war against China? Again, let me know your thoughts here in the comments, but things are looking bleak. And this is the situation that we're dealing with. And the FBI director says threats are at an all-time high, and look at what is happening already. So I'll keep you up to date, but this is what is happening right now in our country. So make sure to like these videos, share these videos. I'll keep you up to date. If you haven't yet, subscribe down below. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. Click here to see Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan Chase CEO, the serious warning he just gave to Americans about our economy. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.